Hello, I'm Sri Jana. I'm honored to share another chapter of this amazing epic with you. The Bhagavad Gita is the story of an ancient battle in the 3D matrix of the mind and a foundation of Hindu philosophy. It describes the laws of nature, techniques to achieve ascension, and it outlines all the tools you'll need to attain your highest destiny in life. With each chapter, the Gita lessons are becoming more refined, inviting us to reassess our modern concepts to find a true path to ascension. This chapter is an explanation of metaphysical empowerment. Just enjoy with an open mind as if you would listen to a story. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, gods ruled the earth, and all learning took place in the form of stories and sacred verses that people memorized and passed down with each generation. The warrior prince Arjuna and his chariot driver, the god Krishna, gaze over a vast battlefield. Arjuna and his virtuous Pandava brothers are now assembled, along with thousands of warriors, to fight his evil Kaurava cousins to the death. Arjuna is horrified and refuses to fight. Krishna enlightens him as to the secrets of higher knowledge, how to carry out actions in a higher frame of mind in which he serves God without incurring sin or karma. Ultimately, Arjuna accepts his destiny to fight. He and his brothers win, and they ascend to the heavenly realms. The word yoga means a path or discipline. It's a means of achieving harmony between action and knowledge. When action is done as an offering, infused with knowledge, it leads to divine love and power in this life. This creates a harmonic relationship between the individual soul and the Supreme Soul. In Chapter 7, Arjuna asks about the nature of reality. What is the nature of being? What is the difference between the individual soul and the Supreme Soul? What is the nature of time and space? How does the physical world unfold from spiritual nature? I confess, one of the reasons I'm interested in the Gita is to reaffirm truth seeded into the hearts and DNA of ancient humans of every culture, and to discover how has that shared truth and goodness become so utterly warped beyond recognition in modern times. How did this happen? Was it the introduction of money giving way to selfish motives as a basis for collective awareness? Did we make money our God? Now, as Chapter 7 goes on, we have arrived at a critical meeting point between quantum physics, biological science, philosophy, truth, and the power of the collective mind. The words of the Gita are in Sanskrit, the sacred root language of the gods. We are doing our best to understand it in everyday English. Arjuna is curious about the supreme almighty God called Brahman. So Krishna defines the supreme God, the self, the material world, the importance of religion, and the various other gods who rule the planets, the weather, and the elements. Many people devote their lives in devotion to lesser gods, but those who understand the nature of ultimate reality come directly to the highest supreme God. Krishna gives the Vedic version of the creation of the world. He basically says, I did it. The Vedic creation story is called Nasadiya Sukt. This verse is said to be over 5,000 years old, even older than the Gita. It does not mention a supreme God, It does not mention male or female. It only says, in the beginning, there was neither existence nor non-existence. Out of that came desire, the primal seed of mind. Powers rose, and gods came later. But from whence the universe came, whether it was made or not, only that one knows, or maybe does not know it at all. Krishna doesn't mention the Big Bang or the 7 days of creation. He just says most people don't have the perceptual powers to know God, and those that could know are deluded by desires, sensory inputs, and the stresses of life. He describes 4 different types of truth seekers. Some look for personal gain, but have no interest in the larger picture beyond selfishness, so they never touch the power of God. Everything in the space-time continuum arises from the 3 modes of physics, the 3 gunas, of which he alone is the source, he says. While he contains and comprehends the gunas and all things, they do not contain or comprehend him. That is the big difference between God and his creations. They are all informed by the divine, but they cannot touch the wholeness of the divine. God is not subject to anything in creation, yet all things are subject to God. He says that divine power is not visible to all. It is veiled by the power of illusion. This divine power, called Yoga Maya, is a veil that hides his imperishable nature and eternal divine form. From this illusion comes a world of selfish desire, exploitation, bewildered by the illusory power of Maya. People cannot see the highest, unchanging, omnipotent nature of truth, God. Krishna is none other than the supreme God, shape-shifted into the blue charioteer. Those devoted ones who surrender to him receive divine knowledge of the supreme God, of the self, and become the masters of the laws of karma. Their conscious soul at the time of death goes directly to him. Okay, as you listen to the verses of chapter 7, I invite you to ponder these questions. What is the source of material existence? What are the 4 types of people who study the metaphysical, and which group is Krishna's favorite? How does devotion to a supreme God purify the mind and protect a person in this life and beyond? What is the greatest illusion that causes confusion and blocks people from happiness? What are your favorite quotes from this chapter to remember for life lessons? What parallel events in the modern world illustrate these concepts? Now, I will try to read the verses of chapter 7. The Supreme Lord said, "Now listen, O Arjun, how, with the mind focused exclusively on me and surrendering to me through the practice of devotion, you can know me completely, free of doubt. I shall now reveal unto you fully this knowledge and wisdom. When you know this, nothing else remains to be known in this world. Among thousands of people, hardly one strives for perfection. And among those who have achieved perfection, hardly anyone really knows me. Earth, water, fire, air, space, mind, intellect, and ego. These are 8 components of my material energy. Such is my inferior energy, But beyond it, O mighty-armed Arjun, I have a superior energy. That is the soul energy, which is the very source of material essence. Know that all living beings are created and manifested by these two energies of mine. I am the source of the entire creation, and into me it dissolves once again. There is nothing higher than myself, O Arjun. Everything rests in me as beads strung on a thread. I am the taste in water, O son of Kunti, and the radiance of the sun and the moon. I am the sacred syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. I am the sound in ether and the ability in humans. I am the pure fragrance of the earth, the brilliance in fire. I am the life force of all beings and the austerity of the ascetics. O Arjun, know that I am the eternal seed of all beings. I am the intellect of the intelligent and the splendor of the glorious. O best of Bharatas, in strong persons I am their strength without desire and passion. I am sexual joy in harmony with Dharma. The three qualities of physics are the sacred, passion, and ignorance. These are manifestations of me. They are in me, but I am beyond them. Confused by these three modes, people of this world are deluded and fail to know me as the true, imperishable, and eternal. This three-pronged illusion of the physical world veils my true energy, hence people find it very difficult to penetrate. Yet those who come directly to me cross over it easily. There are 4 kinds of people who do not surrender to me. Those ignorant of knowledge, the lazy who follow their lower nature although they could know me, those with confused mind, and those of a demonic nature. O best among the Bharatas, 4 kinds of sincere people engage in devotion to me: the distressed, the seekers of knowledge, the seekers of material gain, and those who are established in knowledge. Between these, those who are established in knowledge with steadfast and exclusive devotion, I consider them to be the highest. I am very dear to them, and they are dear to me. Indeed, all those who are devoted to me are indeed noble, but those established in knowledge, who are of steadfast mind, whose intellect is merged in me, and who have made me exclusively their supreme goal, I consider as my very self. After many births of spiritual practice, one who is endowed with knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be all that is. Such a great soul is indeed very rare. But those whose knowledge has been carried away by material desires worship the various celestial gods. They devote themselves to those lesser gods, following their own nature. Whatever celestial form a devotee desires to worship with faith, I support their worship in that form. Endowed with faith, the devotee engages in worship of a particular celestial god and obtains their objects of desire. But in reality, I alone arrange these benefits. But the fruit gained by these people of small understanding is perishable. Those who worship the celestial gods go to the world of celestial abodes, while my devotees come directly to me. The ignorant think that I, The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna was formless earlier, and I have now assumed this personality. They do not understand the imperishable, higher nature of my personal form. I am not manifest to everyone, being veiled by my supreme divine illusion of Yoga Maya. Hence, those without knowledge do not know that I am without birth and changeless. O Arjun, I know of the past, present, and future. I also know all living beings, but of me no one knows. O descendant of Bharat, the dualities of desire and aversion come from illusion. O conqueror of enemies, all living beings in the material realm are from birth deluded by these. But persons whose sins have been destroyed by engaging in devotional activities become free from the illusion of dualities. Such persons worship me steadfastly. Those who take shelter in me, striving for freedom from old age and death, come to know the highest God, Brahman. They come to know their individual self and all of karmic action. Those who know me as the ruling law of physical matter, ruler of the celestial realms and of all sacred offerings, such enlightened souls are in full consciousness of me even at the time of death.